space that was pre-prepared and surveyed, which consists of 641 hectares of land space. And out of that, we are utilizing 210 hectares for the acquisition. Your Excellency, we are proud to say that this project, as we speak, we are in the process of now getting the contractors. That is when we start doing the road. It's a 4.7 kilometer road, access road to the park, which commences from where we have seated into the park. We also will be doing the fencing of about 210 hectares. And we are also going to be installing power lines that runs along the road corridor. As I speak to you, Your Excellency, we are close to opening July. We're going to also one expel into some agricultural students at the university, so as to create a workforce that can serve the park once we have the operational list. The equipment, as I speak, is on ground. The university is in the process of building a shelter, and we are hoping that about a month from now, we can have equipment displayed to you. The policy of import and goods export. We tend to create around 156,000 jobs. We intend to modernize traditional agriculture. We intend to build the agricultural value chain, which is very key. Increase the country income and minimize import and reduce urban and rural poverty. In the zone, we have earmarked 6 different processing zones that will be active to include fruits, vegetables, and tubers, cereal, pulse, and oilseed, livestock, fish processing zone, cocoa and coffee processing zone, plantation crop processing zone, dairy, honey, and other agroforest processing zone will all be settled as cooperation plans. Your Excellency, before I proceed, we're also pleased to announce to you that the project has also supported the Liberia Special Economic Zone Authority that got established through the appointment of its executive chairman last year, April. To date, we are pleased to announce that the project has supported the authority in establishing its website. The website is live. The project has also developed a licensing regime for the authority and has set up standard operating procedure and built a clear system for the authority, and has also put together an organization framework and the brand. Lastly, we also want to announce to you, Your Excellency, that this project and what we are about to do here today in terms of doing the groundbreaking demonstrate His Excellency's commitment and in vision with His Excellency, the President, Ambassador Joseph Yu's market vision under the arrest agenda for inclusive development, meaning that we're going to be establishing for the first time in the history of Liberia an agro-processing zone that will cater to over 156,000 people that might be employed, and will cater to over 5,000 people As I speak to farmers and cooperatives into this program is simply because the produce that are going to be supplied for processing and consumption will be provided by these farmers that we're currently working with. Thank you very much.
All right, so in the interest of time, I'd like to now call on Honorable Prince A. Better. He's the Executive Chairman of the Liberia Special Economic Zones Authority, Mr. Bear.
Thank you all. Today in the city of Buchanan, Nassau County, most specifically, this government, all of you are citizens. Mr. Vice President, 2 months back in 2024, again, you were privileged to have launched the Special Agro-Processing Zone project at the Maroon Free Zone in Maroon. Today, May 2025, you are here again. I just symbolically with a measure of responsible government to break ground for a special agro-processing zone project funded by the government of Liberia and the African Development Bank. We are launching a special agro-industrial processing zone specialization. The SAPZ is not just a zone. It's a bold vision brought to life. A vision where Liberian produce gains value, where farmers become exporters, and where youth and women find decent jobs close to home. Under the arrest agenda of His Excellency President Joseph Lima Boyka, we are committed to building a Liberia that works for all, and that begins in our farms, in our factories, and right here in Buchanan, Nassau County. This project, as stated earlier, is jointly funded by the African Development Bank and the government of Liberia, which will transform 200 hectares of an existing 631 hectare land space to be known as the Buchanan Special Agro-Processing Facility. This site, only 3 miles from the port of Buchanan, is poised to become Liberia's gateway for valued added agricultural exports. Let me quickly share a glimpse of what we are building for the next 5 years, as may have been referenced by the previous speaker. A 5-kilometer asphalt road connecting farmers and investors to the park that commenced from this site, this point here in Capesta. A 6.5-kilometer power line linking the CLSG grid to ensure reliable and clean energy. A fully fenced 200-hectare park ready for industrial scale agro-processing activities. 3 agricultural transformation centers to be constructed in Lima County, Mr. President, Long County, and of course, not to forget the western part of Liberia, in Cape Town County. Capacity building for over 150,000 farmers, cooperatives, and entrepreneurs. 6 dedicated processing zones for cocoa, fruits, vegetables, livestock, dairy, and more. All of this will be guided by our slogan, adding value to Liberian produce with clarity, transparency, and confidence, because this is what SAPZ is all about. We are turning raw potential into real prosperity. We
We at the Liberia Special Economic Zones Authority, Mr. Vice President, we are ready. We have the policy tools in place, the licensing regime, standard operating procedures, the SAPC grant, a website, a robust investment promotion strategy. Mr. Vice President, kindly convey to His Excellency, we at the LSEZA are proud to be the regulatory body shaping Liberia's economic transformation. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to our development partners, the African Development Bank, whose funding made this possible, USAID, for supporting the foundational feasibility studies, World Bank, and our strong ally in execution, the National Investment Commission. The trust in Liberia is not taken for granted to our development partners. Thanks also to the Liberian Land Authority for ensuring a smooth transfer of this land, and to Grandmaster University for being part of the value chain development. The rice mill, oil plant expeller, and generators, as indicated by my colleague, has been provided to GPU agricultural independent as proof of how the special agro-processing zone is already adding value before even we made one plot on this soil. It is not just ceremonial, it is the dawn of enhanced economic growth of Grandmaster and the mark of a responsible government. With the deed available and the site secure, full-scale implementation are poised to begin. Let us stay focused, collaborative, and accountable. In closing, I say this to our people. Once again, today is not just a ceremony. It is the dawn of enhanced economic growth. It is about jobs. It is food security. It is pride. It is our future. To our investors, and I would like to take a cue from our President's Excellency. Last year at the Liberia Investment Forum, our President's Excellency stated, and I quote, if you bring your money to Liberia, your money will be protected. If you bring your investment to Liberia, your investment will also be protected. Those are the words of His Excellency, President Burke. To President, we should board leadership in operationalizing the Liberia Special Economic Zones and for making agriculture the heartbeat of national development. You have planted the seeds of prosperity. We at the Liberia Special Economic Zones Authority are here to nurture them in the office for all Liberians. Before I take my seat in the meeting, I would like to express special gratitude to the representative of this district, Honorable Thomas Bourgeois, who did not sleep over the last 4 nights to help us get this site ready for what you see here today. Honorable Executive, thank you all.
Brilliant. Okay, so now we move along and we will call on Honorable Thomas Bourgeois.
Okay, the representative of the district.
Due to time, we're asking everyone to please make it very brief.
District representative of the district, Bizarre district, about the
To my distinguished colleagues, members of the Council in the caucus, His Excellency, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, members of the executive, our partners, counties officials, members of the press, citizens of the Electoral District number 5. I want to say a very big thank you to His Excellency for the visit. We've long been saying that things will happen in Gaza. It will be good for us, and all of us will enjoy. For a very long time, people have been telling us that the Gaza people get a level for smoking in there. This time, we're not getting it for smoking, but doing it for development improvement. Yes. We want want to see good things happening in Basa. I just listening when the man was reading all the good things. The one I catch one here, the money business. $19.4 million will be spent right here in Grand Bassa County. And something good for you, and something good for the government. And so I want to appreciate you, citizens of the Third District 5, for agreeing with us in providing a parcel of land so that this big thing can happen to Bassa for all of us. So the Special Economic Zone Authority, I want to say thank you for your partnership with the people of Grand Bassa County. And we pray hoping that your efforts here will not go in vain, as you can already see how our people are joyful and they are willing to work along with you to make this a success. Thank you once again to our Bassa Purpose people. We say thank you for showing up and giving the support. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'd like to call on Honorable Jeff Beagle, Chairman of the National Investment Commission.
Hello. Today I'm very today marks a defining moment in our national journey. Groundbreaking the special industrial processing zone embodies ideas of making the country organization, value of vision, job creation, and skill. This mission is to build infrastructure necessary to private sector investment, reduce reliance on food imports, and strengthening agro-industrialization while using skill across our country. Let me go over what would benefit this community. The project would directly impact 136,000 farming households, a million in new investments. With the most exports, we create an estimated 156,000 sustainable jobs, 60% of which benefit youth and 50% women. This is not just a promise, it is already in motion. To date, under farmers cooperatives have been fully mapped out and assessed. Over 25,000 farmers have been identified receiving initial protections. 170 cooperative leaders have also been trained under trainer retreats. Part of being shown that peer-to-peer knowledge is training for an additional 1,303 farmers is about to commence and lasts for 23 weeks. More than just infrastructure, the SMPC is an ecosystem that brings ports, roads, farmers, processors, aggregators, and investors. It connects TVEC institutions to market demand, prepares youth for agribusiness. Furthermore, the SMPC project supports the establishment of the special to manage and regulate the SMPC market, ensuring investors' confidence and sustainability, here to execute the company, give SMPC all your cooperation. We sincerely thank our partners, particularly the African Development Bank, from the steadfast support to the people of Grand Bassa and beyond. This is your moment. From farm to table. Your Excellency, thank you for your leadership. With your hands breaking ground today, and we paved the way toward empowered, industrialized, and self-sufficient Liberia. As we enter a new chapter of value education, export potential, rural revitalization.
Thank you, Mr. People. I would like to call on the Minister of Labor, Honorable Kupakura, and followed by the Ministry of Commerce, Minister Wilbur Reeves. Just 1 minute each, just to kind of acknowledge that we're here in the amount of job creation and building.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President, members of the Bassa Legislative Caucus here, the minister here. Let me join other speakers to again encourage or thank the Prison Authority for this 1 or 2 years. We will not be bringing yam from Ghana. We will not go to Guinea to bring pepper. This is a challenge to us. Now we can see made in Liberia. So this is a challenge, and I'm sure other countries will see you as an example. The way you handle this project, other countries will say, look, if Bassa can do it, we too can do it. So we want to encourage you, take ownership of whatever that will be put on the ground here. Those machine, let be security for them. Let's look at them as our own property. It's important. The president might not be here today, the VP is here, but you watch him on our screen. I know the big tool is shaking and dancing because agriculture is a concern for Liberia. And for the kind of job creation that the director spoke about, we are the Minister of Labor. We're so happy that again, instead of going sending people to mental scheme, we can say let's go to Bassa and do some work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. So now we'd like to call Mr. Wilbur Reeves. You know, trade, after we process all these things, we got to ship some of them out. So he's the Deputy Minister of Trade.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, I basically came with a prepared text. And I think it's good to speak to the issue. You notice that almost everything we eat in this country, we are importing. You also notice that most of the farming products that come from the rural areas, sometimes by the time they get to the city, most of them are almost spoiled. This special agro-processing zone is basically going to provide an opportunity where we begin to change the narrative, where we begin to make made in Liberia a reality for all of us. Just in 2023, the import bill for this country was around 790 million dollars. It means what we are doing, we are sending out jobs and we are bringing in unemployment in this country. So the special economic zone is placed in a position to be able to send out, to create the employment in this country, and then send out the products. And this county becomes the living example to make that to happen. So, Your Excellency, I want to say a big thank you to the President of the Republic of Liberia for this vision, a vision that has been lying for so long and now being translated into action.
I want to say thank you to the Special Economic Zone. We are ready to stand with you, especially when it comes to the commercialization of these products, given the fact that we have opportunity to work with the African country through the African Continental Free Trade Area. We have the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme so that our farmers, our producers can take advantage of these opportunities that are available by these platforms. And let me say a big thank you to the African Development Bank for the partnership. I mean, it could not have come at a better time. Because when you look in the arrest agenda for the inclusive growth, the development, you come to realize that value addition is a primary focus of the government. So with that, let me say a big thank you. Again, I'll stop here. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves. Now, because of time, we're going to skip all of the other speakers. We will call on the African Development Bank, and then we go straight over to our Vice President. Good afternoon. I'm Consuelo Kelly Sarsi, Senior Engineer for the bank, and I am deeply honored to represent the African Development Bank and to convey the warm greetings and heartfelt felicitations of the officer in charge of our Liberian country office. Today's groundbreaking and deep signing for Liberia's first special agro-industrial processing zone is far more than a ceremonial turning of swords. It is a collective declaration that agribusiness is the next frontier for national prosperity. This flagship intervention is the foundation upon the dreams of food security, economic transformation, and shared prosperity will take roots and flourish. The African Development Bank stands shoulder to shoulder with the government of Liberia on this pivotal endeavor. With 16 million United States dollars from the African Development Fund of the bank and a further 13 million United States dollars from the OPEC Fund, we reaffirm our full and unwavering support for Liberia's SAPZ project. However, resources alone will not unlock the transformation. We urge every arm of the government, every development partner, and critically, the private sector to see agriculture not a sector in isolation, but as the beating heart of a vibrant agribusiness ecosystem, one that can power manufacturing, logistics, finance, and export revenues for decades to come. As we break ground and the walls are raised for the agri-hubs in Grand Bassa, Nimba, and Grand Cape Mount, let us remember that its impact will ripple through every fabric of the Liberian society, from the smallholder farmer in Grand Bassa, whose yields of cassava, rice, and vegetables will now feed the nation with greater efficiency, to the young graduates in Nimba County, who will find her skills in agro-processing and entrepreneurship valued and rewarded. This SAPZ will be a catalyst of change. Over 400 youth and women will receive cutting-edge training in food processing and non-food processing technologies, 156,000 jobs, and it will open the door for up to 150 million United States dollars mobilized to anchor sustainable value chains in Liberia. Across Africa, the bank has sponsored SAPZ in Nigeria, Ethiopia, Guinea, Senegal, and Togo, and it has created hundreds of thousands of jobs and reduced million-dollar export bills. These are not isolated successes. They are a signpost of a continental highway toward food security, large-scale job creation, and competitive export. Now Liberia is in the fast lane. Liberia is uniquely positioned for this project because The deep water port of Buchanan can ship goods to any West African country within 2 days, which saves time and money. The country also has over 4 million hectares of good farmland and a lot of rain, so farmers can grow crops like rice, cassava, palm oil, cocoa, and vegetables all year round. And with the affordable hydroelectric power from the regional grid, it will keep factory costs very low. On top of that, the new government reformed for the Liberia Special Economic Zone Authority and also the Liberia Single Window for Investors signals a welcoming sign that there's climate for private capital. Most importantly, Liberia's greatest resource, the people, will benefit through training and jobs from farm gate to the export hubs. In conclusion, Your Excellency, this project embodies the spirit of Liberia's progressive agenda for inclusive development, where agriculture stands as a key pillar of national development vision. By reducing reliance on imported staples and boosting exports such as palm oil, coffee, and the rest, we strengthen the economy, empower our farmers, and invigorate rural livelihood. And in doing so, we pave the way to improve roads to markets, rehabilitate infrastructure, educate in agro skills, enhance sanitation in our communities, and growth of tourism to a more prosperous rural economy. Together, we can convert Liberia's natural bounty into nutritious food on every table, dignified jobs in every county, and export revenues that will light up the national balance sheets. Your Excellency and honorable government officials, the true measure of success will be seen when the mother from Grand Cape County can feed her children from the field she has helped to cultivate, when our young people from this very Bassa County are gainfully employed, processing the very crops that they have seen on the roadside, and when Liberia emerges as a region of agro-industrial excellence in the region. Let this groundbreaking mark the beginning of a journey towards inclusive, resilient, and prosperous Liberia. God bless you.
And I see after the same thing, you when I listen. You see, after the same thing, somebody call
This is the last one. The last one is the last one
our choosing elders from this counting of hours with Massa, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On this wonderful occasion marking the official groundbreaking ceremony of the special agro industrial project, I am honored to invite the Secretary of Liberia, Honorable
Stop that. Please. I mean, you have been captured in whatsoever. Stop that. No one is moving.
Officials of government here, our elders, our brothers, the young people, the media, greetings. Bring a greeting to the Excellency Joseph Boakai Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you. President Boakai has been standing here today. But you know, there are too many different things going around the world. And when they come to national spirit, they call the presentation. So because of some pressing engagement, the president asked me to be a proxy. I'll just get to our speaker. I want to first time I'm thanking the African Development Bank. Thank you. Thank you for your support in this project and your support for this group. I'm told by the Minister of Public Works from the Canada to real sense. The project document before you and in the sooner possible time, and maybe 2 years from now, we'll be traveling to pay for to be able to do it.